size is a very good friend of mine, and she's very petite, very, very tiny, and she's had lots of people ask her all the time about being anorexic and about having an eating disorder, and she's like, I'm naturally this size. So that's the opposite size of, I think, that kind of issue as well. But I know for me that my thing has always, I've tried to make a joke about it if it comes up. Even my agent or someone, most people that work with me know not to ever bring up, you know, my Clydesdale size. I like them. I'm into it. My butt, I'm like, just drop it. It's what I love about myself, and I'm not trying to look like anybody else. It's very important that you know that. But I try to make it a joke if it ever comes up with someone, or I'm like, you know, if they want to, if I'm sitting with someone that I know is probably, is in the Hollywood business, the producer or something, and they offer you a bread bowl, and I'm like, no, I'm on a diet. I'm trying to get back to my birth weight. You make a joke about it constantly. That's just what I try to do because I have to find humor in how ridiculous it is. So that's just, my stance is finding humor in it. Constantly finding humor in how ridiculous it is, having things projected onto our bodies and who we are, of how we're supposed to look based on advertisement. That's my point.
I think your question is a really great one, though, because I think both Rosario and I have experienced that idea that, like, oh, as women of color, you are supposed to have more up here, more back here, and be thin everywhere else. And there are all these, and I think what's important to address about it is, you know, there were so many women that came up to me after last night's performance that was specifically about the women of New Orleans. Women from Eastern Europe, women from the Middle East, women from Africa, women from Native American lands here in the United States who said, my God, that was my story. Right? So what we're learning is that these boundaries, these things that we think separate us as women, they're not really true. That we all have this universal experience. So no matter who we are, somebody thinks they know what we're supposed to look like, whether it's because we're Latin or black or white or Asian, people will have an idea about what you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to live, how you're supposed to look, what you're supposed to eat, what you're supposed to wear. And I think the important thing is to keep asking yourself, what's my truth? What feels good to me?
And I think honoring our bodies. I mean, that's something that